What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about Faraday Future. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the current data points, break it down what shorts are doing, and as well what just came out from the company itself. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that said, let's get right to it. Starting off, Faraday is down 3.59%. Majority of the day though, it's been doing rather well, and green, it was only up until recently. This is where it is starting to break down. Very little volume, so 35.8 million shares have been traded. 338 is the average. These are all the transactions being done so far over the last several trading days on the secondary market. So far today, there's been no transactions, insinuating that institutions are kind of overlooking Faraday, not really buying. Majority of the volume being done today is linked to shorting and just algorithmic trading. So this is one negative of Faraday with the lower volume, which has been kind of lower for the last week and a half to possibly 2 weeks. With lower volume, kind of it's very easy to manipulate. And if you're going up against shorts, well, guess what? They have a lot of capital, and this is why, unfortunately, Faraday is just getting kind of tossed around a little bit at the discretion of shorts. So again, I'm going to talk about that. On a side note, this is why as well I do bring up institutions, because institutions add a lot of good support. And for a momentum play, you need capital. Just in my opinion, the only thing that they're really waiting for is a good catalyst from the company. Today, there's been no news, no SEC filings. Unofficially, though, this was posted on Reddit. I believe it was snipped from LinkedIn, if I remember correctly, but this was posted by 𝗪𝗧𝗛𝗧. So he does talk on two things in here that I feel is very good. One is going to be more so the bridging part right here. So he says, these adjustments, if pursued and implemented, could be of practical significance to FF's future business. We are currently exploring this bridge strategy step by step. So the bridging strategy is absolutely key in order for Faraday to import vehicles to the States. And that seems to be their target market, right? So I think, yeah, they definitely need to follow through with that. And I think that's kind of their top priority right now. They have been bringing it up over the last couple of videos as well as this. So clearly they are paying attention to it. So just watch for that bridging strategy to be fully enforced. Another thing that they do bring up is more of a pivot. And that's right here at the very top. We're committed to building shareholder confidence through strong business performance and strategic upgrades. These include considering the potential for a more cost-effective mass market brand, which could attract more users to FF platform or to the blah blah blah. But anyways, so in case you guys do not know, I have several different YouTube channels, one of which is Financial Journey. I do cover quite a lot of EVs in there. One is Lucid, and they're starting to realize after 3 years or close to 4 years being in the business that having a higher priced vehicle isn't necessarily the way to go because of higher interest rates, inflation. Like the demand for higher priced vehicles isn't necessarily there. And that's actually one thing that both bulls and bears in Faraday can agree on, that their vehicles are very expensive. So it does sound like they're starting to look at pivoting to lower priced vehicles. And I think that's absolutely key. That's would be getting them to profitability faster than the current business model, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to say that they're going to be profitable this year or next year, but having mass amount of scale up through lower priced vehicles is typically the way to go, right? That's where a lot of OEMs kind of work with and stuff like that. But he also does say we have had preliminary discussions with several OEMs about that. And 𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗛 previously did post saying that he came back from the UAE on similar kind of format, right? For partnerships and stuff like that. So I think in reality, Faraday, there's a lot of things being worked on behind the scenes. And I'm one of those individuals that I like to look at concrete data, because if you look on, for instance, Reddit, a lot of people are just screaming for a massive short squeeze, and that's going to be coming every single day, blah, blah, blah. I'm not all about that. Sorry to burst your guys' bubble, but I would rather look at the true data points, what shorts are doing, for instance, and trying to analyze that, and looking at, for instance, posts like this to try and interpret what the company might be doing next. So I think this pivot, in my opinion at least, is very advantageous. They probably should have done it a year ago, but beside the point, I think this is definitely a very good move for the company itself. And lo and behold, if I see it as a good thing and other institutions might see it as a good thing, this is where you'll see a rush of capital getting in, because Faraday, in comparison to what it could be in the foreseeable future, might be cheap, right? So institutions love deals, and right now might be a time. Just, I think there needs to be more formal news about this, not just a LinkedIn post, more of a formal news and stuff like that. So let me know your thoughts on that. Right now, shorts are increasing, 656,000 shares, 19.19% of the free float's being shorted. Utilization is 95.66%. Cost to borrow average is 13.35%. So shorts aren't really doing all that much. I think they were just more so active at the beginning part of the week, and that was just to kind of cause a lot of damage to Faraday to ensure that it was not going to be anywhere close to 50 cents. And so obviously I think this is where we are at right now, because they didn't want Faraday to close above 50 cents to ensure that none of these options were going to be exercised, right, in the money. So yeah, it's a very unfortunate circumstance, but like I said in previous videos, the fact that Faraday, if it does close below 50 cents in the next hour or so, it's not the end of Faraday. Obviously it's advantageous to have this on your side and have market makers going into Monday to buy a lot of these shares, but whatever it is, what it is, I think once the company starts to put out more operational updates, this is where you'll see institutions just naturally getting back into Faraday. So it just, no matter what though, it comes back down onto the company itself. And I've said this time and time again, Faraday, I think they, in all honesty, I think they did give up. And because of this recent squeeze, that did really awaken management and gave them hope. Literally, that is it. Because I've been covering Faraday, like I said, for almost like 2 years, and they did actually fully give up. And you can tell that just by looking over their news. So as of late, they started to put out a lot more news, and conveniently that's linked to them just reawakening. But prior to that, like in this last 2 weeks or this last month or whatever, they've put out more news than that they have in the last like 8 months. So basically like October, November, they were very active. December, they started to give up, and it's very, very apparent. You can kind of see that all right here. And that's obviously around the whole reverse stock split and stuff like that. So it's good to see the management is alive, but you do need them to really, really follow through with their commitments. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.